The 800 meters final at the Tokyo 2025 World Championships just went down as the fastest race in history by depth. David Rudisha's world record was not touched because no one dipped under 1 minute and 41 seconds. However, I am sure that as he watched, he was surprised by the sheer pace at which every runner attacked this race. For the first time ever, all 8 men in a championship final broke 1:43. That staggering depth of quality has now made this race the fastest 800 meters ever recorded. We saw the champion, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, come in as the favorite, and he worked incredibly hard to maintain his lead throughout the race. His tactics were on point, executed with pinpoint accuracy. If he had faltered even slightly, his gold medal would have been snatched away by Sajati. Emmanuel registered a championship record of 1 minute 41.86. By doing so, he demolished Donovan Brazier's previous championship record of 1 minute 42.34 seconds, set back in Doha 2019. The key thing to note is that Brazier's 1:42.34 was beaten by 6 of the 8 athletes in this 2025 final. That means if those 6 had raced in Doha, they all would have taken home the gold medal. That's how good this race truly was. Sajati, finishing second, was only 0.04 seconds behind Emmanuel. That's just 400ths away from the gold medal. His silver was actually closer to first place than Kishane Thompson was to Seville in the men's 100 meters final of these very championships in Tokyo. The gap between 1 and 2 here was smaller than the winning margin in that 100-meter race. Sajati is an incredibly fast finisher. The way he stormed through the last 50 meters had me at the edge of my seat, because for a moment I thought he was actually going to take down Emmanuel. Now, Emmanuel has been the overwhelming favorite all through the 2025 season. The last time Wanyonyi lost to Sajati was at the Paris Diamond League in 2024, just before the Olympics. But a month later, at the Olympics, he destroyed him. In 2020, Emmanuel had plans to go after the world record, but in Tokyo, he seemed to struggle with the intense pace he set during the first half of the race. Marco Arap and Sajati were drawing closer to Emmanuel in the last 20 meters. For Arap, he missed silver by just 0.05 seconds. That's the same margin that separated the top 2 in the men's 100 meters final. Again, this shows just how razor-thin the margins were, and how close these athletes came to trading positions. The 3 medalists in this race actually rank as the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fastest athletes in 800-meter history. Emmanuel is tied for 2nd with Wilson Kipketer. Arap sits 4th. Sajati is 5th. These 3 have been racing each other for over 2 years now. They understand each other's strengths, they know each other's tactics, and they've learned how to adjust their strategies in every race. Emmanuel's approach is very similar to Rudisha's. He leads from the front, relying on unmatched stamina. His personal best is 1:41.11, and today he was just 0.75 seconds shy of that. He led from start to finish, pulling the others behind him. Arap tried to match his pace and stayed right behind for both laps. Sajati, as always, preferred to hang back, keeping a gap and waiting for the last 80 meters. For more than 2 years, this has been his trademark move, repeated race after race. I respect him, he's one of the best, but sometimes I think he needs to switch it up. While he is the fastest over the final 50 meters, faster than both Emmanuel and Arap, he often leaves himself with too much ground to cover. And in this race, it was the same story. As the bell rang for the final lap, Sajati was still sitting behind Attaoui, biding his time, waiting for that moment to strike. He unleashed his kick late, and though he came frighteningly close in the final stretch, it just wasn't enough to get past Emmanuel. What made it even more frustrating was the sense that he actually had something left in the tank, even after his all-out sprint over the last 50 meters. You could see it in his stride, power still there, but time running out. That's why I can't help but think, if he had dared to spend more of that energy earlier, keeping himself within touching distance of the leader through the opening stages, he might have left himself with just enough room to launch the same devastating finish, but this time crossed the line first. Instead, the late kick left him a fraction short, settling for silver. He walks away with a medal, yes, but also with the lingering thought of what might have been, and the promise of another day to finally get it right. The final also produced impressive performances from the rest of the field. Cian McPhillips of Ireland set a national record with 1:42.15. Mohamed Attaoui of Spain ran a season's best. Burgin of Great Britain hit a personal best of 1:42.29. Navasky Anderson of Jamaica set a national record of 1:42.76, and Tshepiso Masalela of Botswana finished in 1:42.77, all sub-143s. Every athlete contributed to this race that will probably go down in history for the remarkable depth and intensity across all 8 lanes. The 2025 Tokyo 800 was a masterclass in tactics, pacing, and finishing power.